We are rolling. Welcome, everyone. We are back in the ant nest for the third episode, Tabitha. Tabitha's here, everyone.
I'm here.
Say hi,
Hello.
Tabitha.
Hi, Tabitha.
Yeah, great. Hi, Tabitha. Thanks for coming back. Episode 3.
My pleasure.
So it's only been a short turnaround from our last one because episode 2 was a week
Delayed,
late.
Yeah.
So we're back on the fortnight, so to speak. So we're here, episode 3. And in that week that has been, there is so much to talk about.
Indeed.
How's your week been? Online schooling happening?
Pretty meh.
Going well?
As good as it can get.
Good as it can get. We've got the Zoom classes happening, Zoom only, with Ant Fitness, obviously, with the lockdown at the moment. We're waiting. It's Wednesday that we're recording this. We're waiting an expected announcement to be either tonight or tomorrow as whether the regional New South Wales lockdown will continue. We know that the Sydney lockdown is another month, but we don't know what's happening with the regional, so we'll wait and see. And if you're still at school online, we'll know if we're still doing Zoom only online, or will be revealed.
Yeah.
Probably not by the end of the podcast, though, unless we
Probably not.
go
Could have a
overtime.
live update.
You never know. Okay, let's get straight into it, everyone. I know you're waiting for one of the most popular segments we do. Fun fact with Tabitha. Fun facts.
okay.
We're going to go straight off the top with fun facts before we hit the news. Fun fact, Tabitha.
So this week's fun fact is, exercise keeps your metabolism elevated even after your workout and continues to burn calories even at rest.
That is so true. That is
So,
so
yeah,
true.
Facts.
And that is where it's so important for the regular exercise. Because what you do today will help that metabolism stay higher
Yeah.
as you're doing nothing.
Which is good.
Which is good, isn't it? It's a win-win. I've always liked, when I talk to people about metabolism, I always refer to it like a campfire. So you're out camping, you've got the fire going, you're cooking your marshmallows, toasting them, and then you go to bed. And that campfire dies down until you put fuel on it.
Yeah.
So metabolism is the same thing. So you got to fuel the metabolism. So you can do that through eating and exercise.
Yeah.
And so it's like raging that campfire up and keeping it raging. The higher the metabolism is, the more you're burning. Fun fact with Tabitha, I like it. Repeat it again. Make sure the listeners got it.
Exercise keeps your metabolism elevated even after your workout and continues to burn calories even at rest.
Yeah. Excellent. So it means that 20-minute walk you're doing, you're not just getting the benefit for 20 minutes. It's going longer.
Yeah.
And also, I'm just going to throw in there too, resistance training with weights. Same thing. Really helps boost the metabolism for longer as well. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Exercise. That's the key. It's all about the exercise. Okay. News. We might do sporting news first this week, I reckon.
Okay.
And then we'll throw to you for the news you got, because I know you're keen to talk about the Paralympics. Sporting news. Last week I spoke about League and AFL. AFL was reaching its climax, the Ds.
The big weekend.
The big weekend where we had first playing second and third playing fourth.
Yeah.
And the Demons, my beloved Demons, and Monique, my wife's beloved Demons, going for the first minor premiership flag since 1964. Did you see the game?
No.
Oh, I tell you what. So, the Demons are up at quarter time.
Yeah.
It was 23-13. They were looking good.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't think what we did. I think we switched over maybe to the league and watched some of the league that was on. And then we switched back at half time. Geelong, who they were playing, remember it was 23-13.
Yeah.
Geelong were winning 73-23.
Oh,
It might have been 63-23. It was ridiculous at half time.
Yeah.
Devastated. So I left the room. I had to record my other podcast, Running with Heart podcast.
Yeah.
Came back in, thought nothing of it. And then I saw the message on our family group chat saying the D's had won. They came back from 63 or 73 to 23 to win 81-77
How does that
in a
happen?
half of AFL and win their first minor premiership. So go the D's.
Wow.
Now the other thing I want to talk about, there was a bit of controversy with another game. So as we talked about last week, the top 8 in the AFL, very close. People playing for, or teams playing for positions. And there was a real tight jostle for the top 4. So that 4th position where you basically get a second chance. And so the AFL, if you're tied in points on the ladder, works on percentages. Like a for and against system. They work on percentages. Now, it was the Brisbane Lions, I believe, and the Western Bulldogs really tussling out for the difference. Now, the Dogs lost to Port Adelaide by 2 points. So Brisbane had to beat West Coast Eagles by a certain number of points. I think it was like 2 points or something.
Oh.
And that would mean they'd have, it was something ridiculous, like 0.02% better, and would get them fourth spot.
Wow.
They kicked I can't remember if they kicked the behind, so that's 1 point.
Yeah.
To take the lead with 22 seconds on the clock, which put them, it was that close. In the corner of the screen during the game at the end, they had the live ladder showing, so every time a goal got scored, they drop out of the four, they go in the four. So they got this point, which got them into fourth spot.
Yeah.
They then kicked a goal on the siren, after the siren, secured them fourth spot. So that happened in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
However, it got revealed after the game that the clock didn't start when it should have on a time off section for 25 seconds.
So it didn't count.
So it shouldn't have counted.
But it did.
But it did. So they got fourth spot based on that. So that was broken on the Saturday night Fox AFL show.
Yeah.
Afterwards, one of their reporters broke the news, and they actually showed it, the umpire's arm going up to signal time and all that. But anyway, so the ladder, to go through the ladder, Melbourne are on top. Port Adelaide, Geelong, Brisbane to make up the top four. Then the Dogs, Sydney, Western Sydney Giants, and Essendon. So this week in their first week of the finals, or in the first week of the finals, you'll have Melbourne play Brisbane, Port Adelaide play Geelong, the Dogs will play Essendon, and then the Sydney Derby, the Swans versus the Giants. So that's an elimination there.
Yeah.
So all happening. And breaking news this afternoon, that the AFL has announced the grand final will be held in Perth if it can't be held in Melbourne because of lockdown. So they'll wait to see what happens with lockdown. If it can't be, it's going to Perth.
Wow.
Last year it was at the Gabba in Queensland. So it could be potentially 2 years in a row Melbourne haven't held their grand final. And, you know, it's VFL become AFL, Victorian football. So big news there. On the NRL front, excitement. We're not quite at the only thing I guess that got really determined after the weekend, the Storm is still the team to beat. And the Bulldogs got the wooden spoon.
Lovely.
We'll leave it at that. They lost again to Newcastle. Jaden Ockenbar, shout out to him. Fantastic try, potentially try of the year, which brought us within, I think it was 4 points of winning with 40 seconds on the clock. Incredible try. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Jaden Ockenbar, try against Newcastle. But the Dogs got the wooden spoon with 2 rounds to go. So disappointing there. Melbourne are on top. They're going to be hard to see them lose the minor premiership. You got Penrith and South. Penrith overplayed South, which was, a good game. South got an early lead, 12-0, and then Penrith came from behind and won that. Manly and the Roosters are still jostling for top 4. And then you got Parramatta. Newcastle have pretty much secured themselves a spot. And then you've got, what do we got? Titans, Warriors. The Warriors are probably out of it now. But yeah, Titans and Raiders and Sharks are battling for that final spot. So 2 weeks to go. Whew, we can keep going with the sport. We won't. We better talk about something else. Let's throw it over to you, Tabitha, with the news, including Paralympics, which comes under sport, but we're going to throw it in the news because it's a big news.
It is.
It is. It's just started?
Yep, started yesterday.
Yep.
And it's going to be going until the 5th of September. Is that 2 weeks as well? Or is it less than?
I always thought it was just less than Paralympics. So.
Yeah, it's like a week and a half.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Maybe a couple of days less than the Olympics.
So currently, last time I checked this, which was quite recently,
Yep.
Australia is in first.
In first?
Yep.
Nice.
We got 2 gold medals.
2 gold
today.
already?
Yep.
I've heard no Paralympic news today. 2 gold medals.
We got gold in...
I was going to get the fitness clap of the week. We'll wait.
Okay, we got 1 gold in the women's pursuit C4.
Yep.
I don't really understand how it works.
They're different categories, yep.
And then the women's pursuit C1 to 3.
Okay.
So excellent. 2 gold.
Nice work. Fitness clap of the week to our gold medalists at the Paralympics. I was reading about it with the Paralympics, goalball. I think it's called goalball. Goalball. I'm sure it was called goalball. So so most of the Paralympic sports will have a parallel sport to the Olympics. And the only one that doesn't is goalball.
What's goalball?
So goalball, the way I understand it, and I apologise if I get any details wrong here. So it's played on a volleyball-sized court, 2 teams, 3 players on each team who are vision impaired.
Yeah.
They have to wear shades, so there's no advantage to anyone.
Oh.
And they're only allowed to touch the shades after the whistle blows to start the game by putting their hand up and requesting permission from the umpire to touch this, like to adjust them.
Oh.
And so it's with a ball which has ball bearings inside it. And so they're picking up the sound of the ball bearings. And the idea is you get in the goal at the end of the court, which takes up the full width of the court at either end. And if you happen to get it in the wrong goal, it still counts as a goal to the other team.
Wait, so how do you get it in the goal?
Like, you throw a kick, I think. So
is it either?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think don't quote me on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. It sounds incredible and totally skillful.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it in action. But yeah, I'd not heard of it before. So it's on the size of a volleyball court, 3 on each side. They're vision impaired, you've got to wear shades, so there's no advantage, disadvantage.
Yep.
And the ball bearings inside the ball is how they pick up where the ball is going.
That's crazy.
So yeah. So good luck to all the Paralympians.
Yep, all 36 of
all
them.
36?
Yep.
Excellent. Any other news?
Not that I have.
We'll throw the Ant Fitness news in to our news bulletin. As we said at the top of the show, Zoom is still happening, Zoom only for the classes. Yep. Personal training is outside one-on-one or Zoom. The response for Zoom has been awesome, really, really good. So thank you everyone for the support in these tough times with COVID. And we'll wait to see what happens at the end of the week there.
Yeah.
Active Trails, I've got to mention this in the Ant Fitness news. The online kids class / adventure episodes.
Yeah.
The kids are loving it, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're loving it as much as I'm loving filming it. I'm having heaps of fun. And it's just great to see, I'm getting stories and feedback of kids are going out looking for Active Ant's Nest and Candy Queen's hideout. This afternoon we had a discovery down at Wayne Dam of Candy Queen's hideout. And there's a door in the trunk as well. It's incredible. So, yeah, really good. So keep an eye on that. It is in the online shop if you've got kids that might enjoy it. It's 15, 20-minute episode in the Australian bush. If we get lucky, there's interaction with some Australian animals, as there was in episode 2. Very lucky. And there's an adventure that we're always on as we do some exercise along the way. So Active Trails. Yep. And there's a demand for an adult class, I think. I think there's a demand for the adult class. We'll see what happens. Any other news?
No.
Let's go to another fun segment. Now, Tabitha's taken the reins here this week. She's taken over overrated or underrated. I've got no idea what I'm about to be hit with, what we're going to argue and debate. I'm a bit nervous. Skipping last week.
Yeah.
I put the poll up on Instagram, which I forgot to share. Sorry, everyone. Skipping won. Oh, of course it won.
What?
Skipping being underrated won. It was around 70 to 30%.
Okay.
Big support for skipping being an underrated sport. Sport. Exercise. Underrated. Okay, Tabitha, hit me with it. Okay. Overrated. Underrated.
Energy gels.
Energy gels. Ooh. Now, for those who don't know, might not be familiar with the energy gel. The energy gel comes in various formations of liquid. It can be thick and gooey, like a jelly. It can be liquidy, and generally used on endurance events of longer than an hour, replenishing sugars and what have you.
And they come in little packets.
Little sachets, yeah. And you get many flavours. So we're just talking about energy gels in general. You going first or am I?
You can.
Oh. Overrated, underrated. This is a tough one. I've been put on the spot.
I can go first if you really want.
Oh God, yeah, I think you should. That's why
Okay.
I want to put it out there while you're about to talk. I use energy gels in my running, in my marathon running, my half marathons, in my ultras. I do use energy gels. But would I go far as saying they're underrated or overrated? That's the segment. Let's hear your view first.
I'm going to say overrated.
Overrated.
But personally, I haven't used them.
Okay.
So it's hard to actually say.
Very hard for you to have a say.
I've tasted one before.
What one did you taste? Can you remember?
I feel like it was cake batter.
Cake batter. Birthday cake.
Yeah, birthday cake.
Goo.
Like,
goo energy gels.
The taste isn't too bad, but it's just the texture. It's like too bleh.
This segment could go for a while here as I state my case. as I try and work out if I'm going to go underrated or overrated. Are you finished? You can keep going.
And I also just think there's like better ways, like liquid versions, pure liquid that you can drink out of something. Because what's it for? Is it to get your, like, what does it actually do?
Yeah, so it's replenishing the sugars you're losing.
Yeah.
Your carbohydrates.
For sure, there's better ways.
And then it also your little not macronutrients, I guess, in a way. Potassium can be in there as well. It depends on the gel.
Yeah.
But particularly, it's getting that quick response of the sugar into your system. For what you're burning with your carbohydrates. Okay.
Here we go.
So there's a lot of things to consider here. You've got the different brands, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Goo Energy's one of my favourites. A range of different flavours. You can get caffeine and non-caffeine. Okay, I'm not a caffeine person.
Yep.
That's so I don't know what to do here. I'm leaning towards overrated.
Really?
I am. But only because with the ultra running I've been doing at the moment, because personally I can't handle a lot of energy gels.
Yeah.
So in my early days of marathon running, I'd have 6 in a marathon. Like that's in 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and it was too much, and your stomach gets upset. So obviously you don't want to do that when you're running for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I ran 8 hours the other day in training.
Yep.
I had 3 gels in that time. Maybe 4. But so what I've been doing, I've been trying to replace my salts and my sugars and that in other forms. So I've had caramel slice. I've had potato chips.
See, I prefer that to a gel.
I've had Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah.
Things like
there's
that.
better ways.
But if you're doing that, you've also got to make sure you're having your electrolyte drinks because you want to replace your electrolytes.
Yeah, you've got to try and cover more bases.
Yeah. So it's pointless only having your Vegemite sandwich, your caramel slice. This is not a recommended diet, people. This is what is suiting me with my training. You've got to trial it, learn, error. But then I think of some of the gels, like the Goo gels, particularly Goo Energy gels.
Yeah.
Birthday cake, yum. Lemon lime, yum. Strawberry banana, yum. Then you got the Hammer gels. Okay, the Hammer gels, that's another brand, like Goo Energy. They have apple cinnamon. It's like having an apple tea cake. Very, very nice. And then I think they've got a boysenberry one. There's chocolate, peanut butter chocolate.
But like, couldn't you have this stuff like as an actual food?
It's what they're putting in it.
Yeah, I guess
that has more than the actual food.
But just the texture.
And it's broken down. The texture is a problem. Now, that's where I was going to come to with another one. And I'm not going to mention the brand. I only ever had it once, and I actually threw it up over the side rail while I was out running. It was like this liquidy, and it was disgusting. I want to sit on the fence for this one.
You can't.
I can't.
Have to pick.
I'm going to go underrated.
Underrated?
No, overrated. Overrated. I'm going overrated. I'm going overrated because with proper exploration of options available, I reckon you can. But yes, you can do it. You can if you speak to a qualified nutritionist, sports nutritionist, and make sure you're getting what you need for what your event is. But I don't think the
only thing is, does eating that food give you a stitch in comparison to having a gel? Or do you kind of get used to it?
Yeah, see, that's where the training comes in. If I'd done it years ago, yes. Like I used to not be able to drink water while I was running because I get a stitch. And I started with just 1 sip and then 2 sips and build it up. So same with the food. Chocolate crackles, that's another one that works really well on a run.
Are they the one with rice bubbles?
Yeah, the rice bubbles, that's worked really well before.
Because
cocoa.
they have salt.
Yeah, and the rice bubbles, quick instant carbs. You're looking for that high GI sort of food.
But you wouldn't have not proper, but like main foods like pasta or anything, would you?
No.
Just snacks.
You can have some, like it depends on the event. Like for ultra events, they may stop and have pasta. Again, it depends what they've tried.
Yeah.
Generally, you don't want something high in fibre either. I'm not giving any nutritional advice here. Okay, this is what has worked for me and hasn't worked for me. But you don't want things high in fibre because it takes longer for the digestive system to break it down.
So it's really no
and that
point
means it's demanding more blood supply, which means it's taken away from your muscles. And vice versa. If it's going to your muscles and not enough in the digestive system, you end up with gut problems.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to the gels.
Yep.
I'm going to go they're overrated, but I'm really stuck on the
It's like
fence.
51.49.
50.1, 49.9. Because without my gel, the gel has saved me from numerous runs going bad.
Sounds like you want to go.
I feel like I should change, but I'm not. I'm going to go overrated
say over.
because there are alternatives there.
Yeah.
If you do
Which
it properly.
personally you prefer.
Which I'd say speak to a sports nutritionist.
Yep.
But I would say, just as another disclaimer, if I was doing just an hour or an hour 10 run, I'd have a gel before I'd have a Vegemite sandwich or a caramel slice.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes more sense.
So, underrated. Okay, that's a good one, Tabitha. Well done. That really got me. Let's go to the Hillbilly News, shall we? Hillbilly
Right,
News. So that involves the racing calendar. People, grab it off the wall. I know it's only been a week, but we've got a bit of news we can share this week.
Okay.
First up.
So first up this weekend, 29th, the Dubbo Stampede.
It is too, virtual.
Yep, virtual run.
Dubbo Stampede. Exciting. Excellent.
Are you doing it?
I'm not.
Neither am I.
I'm not.
Why is that?
Well, one, it probably doesn't fit into my current training block.
Yeah.
And I have an injured ankle.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe I'll be running on the weekend, maybe I won't. So, yeah.
Yep.
We'll just leave it at that.
Then it's what should be the Bathurst Edgel Jog.
Yeah, so this happened after last week, didn't it? We spoke about the Edgel Jog. We did. And it got cancelled, I think, the night of our podcast being recorded. So the Bathurst Edgel Jog, everyone, sad to say, has been cancelled, which I believe is the second year in a row. It didn't happen last year.
Yeah.
So hopefully 2022, it'll be back. Bathurst Edgel Jog. Big community event.
Next up is on the 17th of October, City to Surf.
City to Surf virtual run.
Yep.
And new website.
Yep, they've got a new website and they've introduced new characters.
New characters.
So far, they've only revealed the gorillas.
Yep.
Which I'm assuming is because of the gorillas that are always there.
I saw that they're going to base the characters on...
like dress-ups that people do.
Yeah, I thought you should just probably clarify what you've just said. Because you said those gorillas are based on the gorillas that are always there. Not real gorillas, people. Do not be going to City to Surf.
Gorillas.
Yeah. So as we know, City to Surf, big on costumes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the gorillas that are always there.
Yeah.
I'd like, because I saw they put up a thing on Instagram asking what character would you like to see what celebrated in these characters they're developing for City to Surf.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of the year. I think they were crayons or pencils. There was a family. I'm sure they were crayons, and they walked.
Or would they be Play-Doh?
No.
It was a face of people dressing up as Play-Doh.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was crayons. I'd like to see the crayons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. And I think you can't go past Superman.
Oh, he's always
Superman's
there.
always there.
Yeah.
But I guess you probably can't use Superman.
And surely you'd have like a band, like
true,
because they're always at the bands and stuff.
And there's always seems to be a bride and a groom.
Yeah.
At City to Surf.
Mm.
Yeah, so interesting. But yeah, the gorillas I saw were the first ones. That's the only one they've released.
So far.
And I believe 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, the website goes live.
Yeah, because it's not launched yet.
Yeah, the new website. City to Surf website, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
It's dedicated to the virtual.
Is it?
One, isn't it?
I think it might be.
Is, yeah.
And I'm going to go out there. Look, I have no conversations with the people that organise City to Surf, but I'm going to suggest that tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock when the website goes live, entries will open.
Haven't they opened?
They haven't opened, I don't believe.
Oh.
And I reckon it opens 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Sure.
There'll be an announcement anyway. Sure. Because it's not long away. It's 8 weeks last Sunday, people. Get training.
2 months.
14Ks. We'll be doing something, hopefully, if we can, as Ant Fitness and the Hillbillies. One that we haven't mentioned there with the racing calendar, you might have been looking forward to doing the Blackmoors Running Festival in the middle of September. Don't do it. It's been cancelled or postponed. They've got a tentative date booked in, I think, for November.
Really?
But I don't think it'll happen.
Well,
so it's more than likely it's going to be virtual.
Yeah.
And that same as last year as well, it was a virtual event.
Yep.
But I believe it's free virtually, Blackmoors Running Festival. So check that out on the Blackmoors Running Festival site, everyone.
Didn't they release the medal for City to Surf?
They did too.
Yeah.
They did.
It looks nice.
It looks nice. Added to the collection.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they did release that. The virtual, we've got the VR there, so you know it's a virtual run.
Yeah. You received that, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they might release it tomorrow. Last year you got the medal and you got also a neck buff. City to Surf neck buff, which was nice, especially in the cold areas. So, yeah. look forward to that. Sit a surf. Any other calendars we need to put up?
Not that I
Well, not calendars,
know
but
of.
any events on the calendars. I can announce Born to Run Festival. Our Ant Fitness Born to Run Festival will not be happening.
Would you ever be able to make it virtual?
Possibly. Yeah, we'll look into that. Tabitha's job, everyone. Tabitha's job. Add to her list. Yeah, Born to Run won't be happening this year.
Yep.
We were hoping in October, but yeah,
Too much.
it's not going to happen with the way things are looking with COVID. So we've missed 2 years now. We're looking forward to bigger and better in 2022,
Yep.
and hopefully we'll be back in that second weekend in July.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Stay informed. We'll keep you informed. Stay in tune. I think that's right. Stay tuned. Oh, stay in tune too is always a good idea if you're singing. I heard about we weren't in tune last week with Brady Bunch. Anyway.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm sure our listeners haven't. Any other racing calendar news?
Nope.
No? Okay. On the Hillbilly front, we're still online, obviously, with Zoom, and we're doing the cross-train class. Chance to work on our power, our strength, our balance, our agility, while we're not out running as a group, and we hope to have that back up running real soon once we can, with the COVID restrictions easing when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of hillbillies keen to get together for a run, so hopefully soon. Okay, we got one thing left to do, everyone, and then once again, I'm scared. I've given the reins to Tabitha for this one this week. Put me under pressure, and after the gels, I'm very concerned. Time to play Where in the World?
Dun, dun, dun.
Tabitha's going for a run, and I've got to guess where. See if you can guess before me
Okay.
where it is.
So I am currently running down a road.
That's good. So it's on the trails? Okay, run
I
down the road.
walk past, or I run past.
You're walking already. She's just started. She's walking.
I run past a Macca's and a Subway.
Macca's and a Subway together.
Yep.
Are they on opposite sides of the street, or are they next to each other?
Can I specify?
Yeah, sorry. No, you can keep going. It's up to you.
I keep running.
Yep.
And then to my left, there is somewhat what you'd classify as a fountain. Like it's squirting water out of the ground.
Okay, so found.
Yep.
Or a bubble left on.
I
A broken
keep,
sprinkler.
I keep running, and to my right, if I look quite far down, is a train station. And then if I look in front of me...
Help me, people. Hope you've got me where I do. So we've gone past Macca's, Subway.
Yep.
Fountain was on the left.
On the left.
Down.
Yep.
Okay.
So the Macca's and Subway are on the right.
Okay.
Yep.
And so the fountain was on the other side.
Yep. And then you keep going down and you see a train station
Yep.
to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically to your front/left
Yep.
are a bunch of poles.
Yep. So you're still running.
Yep. And then you go...
Oh. I think I know.
Yeah.
Are we running in Homebush at Olympic Park?
Yep.
Yeah, baby. Yes. The fountain on the
Yeah,
left.
like that. I don't know how
So
to describe it.
you've stepped out of possibly the Novotel above Subway and McDonald's there. There's a few motels there. Near the Aquatic Centre, you come down past the McDonald's and Subway. Olympic Park Station is over on your right, yes. And then the poles are the Olympic poles.
Yep.
With the names of all the volunteers. Oh, very good.
Yep.
What was your next? Was the cauldron going to be mentioned?
I had one more, and it was just I walked to a ticket booth. Or I run.
Okay, to a ticket booth. Going to a football game. When football was allowed. That was good. How'd you go, people? Were you quicker than me?
Probably.
No doubt. I took a while. I was new to the guessing side of it.
Yeah,
It's hard. It is hard. Because you're trying to think of every single city or town you've ever been in.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of Macca's and Subway. First I was thinking Bathurst. I don't know why, because there's not a Subway near Bathurst. Oh, sorry. There's not a Subway There's not a Subway near McDonald's in Bathurst.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned the fountain, the train station. I'm like, oh, I've got no idea. I was picturing Orange train station. I pictured Wallerwine train station. Isn't that funny? And
Where's
last
the
time I checked, there was no
Subway
McDonald's or
and
Subway in
Macca's?
Wayne. Maybe it's happening.
Or a
But,
fountain.
yeah, that's what came to mind, Wayne's train station. So anyway, that was good, Tabitha. Well done. Everyone, it's time to leave the ant nest. Aww. But we'll be back in a fortnight. Stay safe, stay well, and whatever you do, make sure you be active, everyone. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.